You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the podcast that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. From pop culture critiques to the history of K-pop to interviews with people in the K-pop industry and K-pop artists themselves, to concert and album reviews, to a deep dive into the discographies of different K-pop artists, to K-pop news updates, to stories about the music industry more broadly. This show tries to cover everything about K-pop and K-pop as it applies to the larger music and concert scenes. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Today on the show, we have got to talk about 2AM getting involved with a master con artist scheme. We've got to talk about the K-pop groups that are winning in terms of Korean consumer surveys, who is the most popular in Korea right now. We've got to talk about the plagiarism controversy surrounding a star, as well as other controversies that are leading to group disbandments or uncertain futures overall, lawsuits, a lot of drama with different groups and members and things like that. We've got to talk about end-of-the-year award shows, some updates about those and who won and who didn't. So much drama and so much good news. So without further ado, let's dive into 10 news stories you need to know about. My 5 yays and my 5 nays. My nay number 1 goes to all of the group departures that have been happening lately and just uncertain futures about groups and group members and their contracts and things like that. It's that time of year, the end of one year and the beginning of another, so contracts are expiring, some artists are debating whether or not to renew theirs, and so it's a lot of uncertainty and frustration for fans and the artists, I'm sure. Goo Goo Dan, the girl group from Jellyfish Entertainment, they officially confirmed that they have disbanded. Their last comeback was actually November of 2018, so it's been quite a while since we saw them, and they officially confirmed it's because they disbanded. AOA's Yuna has officially left FNC Entertainment because her contract with them expired. Hyunwoo is leaving D-Crunch not because of a contract expiring, but because he is citing back pain and other chronic health issues. 3 different members of the boy group NCS are leaving the group due to a difference in the creative directions they want to go, so the group will now go forward with just 9 members. Elkie from CLC has officially decided to leave Cube Entertainment. A statement confirmed this that was posted on Christmas Day from a Beijing-based law firm that is representing Elkie in a lawsuit filed against Cube Entertainment. Elkie says she was not given the right support in any way. Financially, she was not paid what she was owed, and just in terms of actual material support, promotional opportunities, solo music opportunities, things like that. The statement threatens legal action if Cube does not try to remedy the situation, and as of recording time, there is no response from Cube Entertainment officially, but Elkie already removed her CLC membership affiliation title from her Weibo profile, so it doesn't say Elkie from CLC on her account anymore, it just says Elkie, and the odds of reconciling clearly aren't good if she's already talking to Cube just through this intermediary of a law firm. So I would expect a lot of tension and drama to unfold with this story in 2021. There are 2 possible lanes this story could go down. One is that Cube Entertainment does agree and decide that Elkie will get more solo promotional help, as will the other members of CLC. Elkie had one special solo song in 2018 called I Dream, but that was it. And it didn't really get much promotion or anything. It wasn't like she went and did the TV show circuit or anything to promote it, at least compared to other acts and the amount of promo they give for their singles. All the other members of CLC too have not really had those opportunities, at least compared to other Cube Entertainment artists. Like if you look at G-Idol, for example, Minnie had the collab with Wenji, Soyeon worked with Key in obviously the League of Legends stuff, and Soyeon has been very hands-on in getting to collab with a bunch of other artists for different purposes and get behind the scenes too. So just the creative opportunities specifically for CLC compared to other artists is the issue. Not among the CLC members getting different levels of opportunity, but the whole band, I think, is the source of frustration for her, that the whole group. So the lawsuit is kind of, I feel like, just symbolically on behalf of the whole group, even if not materially that's the case. One course of action is that Cube Entertainment decides to make it a little more equal in terms of how much promo the different Cube Entertainment artists get for their solo pursuits. But as I said before, the much more likely course of action, given that remedying the situation doesn't sound likely at this point since she's talking through an intermediary, already has lawyers involved here. The likely explanation, the likely course of action that we'll see this year is that we're going to see the Cube Entertainment lawyer up as well. And this will be a long drawn-out lawsuit, is my prediction. And it will have a precedent set for all Cube Entertainment acts going forward. And in the meantime, I feel like it will be complicated because I predict that Elke will probably end up doing solo promotions through China or through some other... Well, if her law firm is affiliated with Beijing, I'm just thinking maybe she'll do promo in China. But anyway, I think she will find some outside of Cube Entertainment or even outside of Korea entirely opportunities for herself. And so I predict that there's going to then be a legal fight. She won't just be able to go to another company and make money for them, and help their brand name. Cube Entertainment will want some compensation for reputation damages, or they'll want some of that pay cut, really, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think they'll just let her leave the company. I hope I'm wrong, but I can see this getting very messy, so we'll see where that goes this year. In other band member drama, B2B's Ilhoon was caught buying marijuana with virtual currency, so it would not be detected, and it was revealed he's been buying that for the past 4 to 5 years, and this led to a lot of negative headlines surrounding B2B, the band, and so Ilhoon, to further not stain the reputation of B2B in his eyes, he decided it was best for him to leave the group, and the company was on mutual terms with him about that. They mutually decided that was the way to go. A case started being looked at as to his potential recreational marijuana use back in July of 2020, and Cube Entertainment insists that they had no idea this was happening, and they, quote, decided to respect Jun's wishes to leave B2B in order not to inflict more damage on the group. The case against him accuses him of violating Korea's Narcotics Control Act. We won't get into it too much here, into the weeds of it here, as I will say and then apologize for the bad pun about. The what you need to know for the story's sake is that South Korea has some of the strictest recreational marijuana related laws and just in general drug laws in the world, and so those are part of the issue here at why he felt like that he was getting such a negative reputation of the group, because it may sound odd that it would be viewed so negatively for a band, but in Korea that is the case. Lastly, Jin from GOT7, his future is unclear because his contract with JYP Entertainment expires this month, and there are rumors that he's talking about signing with Big Hit Entertainment. These rumors were disputed by JYP Entertainment, but of course they were, and a Big Hit source did confirm that they've met with Jin. He's been in talks with them, but they deny anything concrete coming of it. They just talked. So we'll see. I would not be surprised if he made that shift, especially if he wanted to become focused more on his acting or solo pursuits. Big Hit Entertainment could provide him that outlet, but I could also see him staying with GOT7. My yay number 1 goes to new fandom name announcements. I love hearing the backstory to different fandom names when they're super creative, and so the latest definitely go on my list of the best fandom names with the cutest stories and meaning. STAYC, the new girl group STAYC, decided that their fandom name is SWITH, SWITH, which is S, the first letter of Stacy, of course, plus with, as in the fans are with them by their side forever. This was the one chosen on New Year's Eve, and it came out of 1,000 different fan suggestions that were taken into consideration. Double meaning here is that the Korean pronunciation of SWITH actually makes it sound like sweet, which is no accident. That's part of the reason they chose this name too. Their fans are very sweet. It's just a cute double meaning. And Black Swan's fandom name has been announced as Lumina, or Lumina. Luminous, meaning, light and giving light, plus the suffix A, which means the best. So it's the best, shining the best light on them, helping shine this group and show them to the world in the best light, and the group in turn trying to bring light into fans' lives. Nay number 2 for me, Han Jin-young and her recent controversy. There was rumors circulating about this for a very long time that she denied a lot at first. She has officially opened up and confessed to all of it. She plagiarized her master's thesis, she says. She issued an in-depth apology for this plagiarism and revealed that she plans to rescind the degrees that she earned with the plagiarized documents. This investigation started actually after the rumors started swirling about this, and December 23rd, 2020 is when the decision was officially confirmed. The investigation confirmed her guilt. It started with the Research Integrity Committee, which is a subcategory of her university's ethics committee, and then the case was forwarded to a grad school committee. So several independent parties vetted these investigative findings, and the grad school committee said, quote, "We've made a final judgment of plagiarism regarding Han Jin-yun's thesis, and therefore we will begin taking administrative action for degree cancellation." The school is partly faulting the setup of the professor-student partnership mentor-mentee supervisor program, saying it may need some tweaks, but it was established in 2011, and this plagiarism incident took place in 2009, so a few years before the program was established. So them saying the system is the problem may have some truth to it, but I do also think there may be something else to think about. There's a lot there. I don't know, obviously, the culture of that university, but there's a lot there to think about and reform if this is the case. Han Jin-yun ended up getting a score of 74 on a plagiarism detecting site, and I would assume that's 74%. And typically on a plagiarism detecting site, at least with my experience using them, if you have over like a 5% match rate, then the computer will flag what you've done as plagiarism. 74% is enormous, but she has shown immense remorse through her statements about this now and wants to live a more honest life going forward. My yay number 2, BTS members' latest charity works. First of all, we talked about the story a little before, but it was just officially confirmed that the donor back in July who donated to the Jeolla province was Jimin's father on Jimin's behalf. Someone made a huge donation there, and specifically for the Future Education Foundation in South Korea, the donation was 100 million won, which is like around $84,000 in US dollars, and that was officially confirmed to be from Jimin donating to that school. And remember, that's not the first time. He's done things like that before, donating new desks to his old school and things like that. And RM from BTS was selected to receive special recognition from the Korean Art Council as one of their patrons of the arts of the year. They cite the fact that he posts a lot on social media about his trips to art museums and the new artwork he's bought and things like that, and that he spent $91,000 in US dollars to have different art books reprinted and sold again when they were running low on copies, things like that. So his art appreciation has been no secret, and he has made sure to promote and highlight the work of different artists. And so he's really helped the BTS Army and fans around the world gain art appreciation, so he's getting a special honor this year. And he's one of only 4 people getting that honor, as well as 6 companies who are being recognized this year. The famous singer Henry is also getting recognized because he runs this YouTube channel called Henry Together, and that's about prodigious child musicians, and so that also shows an appreciation for and highlights the best of the best in the world of the arts in terms of the performing arts. So all types of art appreciation are represented with this honor. My nay number 3 goes to the coronavirus still on its world tour that's preventing all other world tours spreading throughout every country still. The NBC variety show department in Korea had 5 confirmed cases in 1 week, which caused 6 of their programs to cancel their weekend filming plans. The Masked Singer had to halt production because one of the judges on it, in the original Korean Masked Singer show, one of the judges on it was confirmed to test positive. So the Monsta X members, Minghyuk and Kihyun, who were guest stars on that episode of The Masked Singer, also were tested and had to quarantine out of an abundance of caution while waiting test results. Big Hit Entertainment is in the middle of creating this new building, and during construction of their new big offices, one of the office workers tested positive, and then an outbreak of 62 cases on the construction site occurred. 4 of the members of the boy group Vanner tested positive after getting tested because one of their staff members tested positive. Chunha tested positive, we talked about that before, but now she's asymptomatic, and she was released from the quarantine facility she had been in for 11 days, and her activities are still kind of postponed until further notice, although one of her singles is coming out very soon. Maybe, actually, it's already out by the time this episode is out, but anyway, so she's back at it now, but it definitely delayed and pushed back her whole music promo lineup. All of the members of NCT were tested after finding out that their makeup team crossed paths with a confirmed COVID case, and so all the members tested negative, but they had to temporarily cancel some of their planned appearances and things like that. Jaehyun from Golden Child got COVID and is considered recovered now, so Golden Child may resume promotional activities very soon. They actually have a new album coming January 25th that I'm very excited for. 3 members of Uptension have had COVID, and all 3 are on the mend, it seems. Xiao just left quarantine and is deemed no longer contagious. Kogyo and Bito are back to both living their normal lives, essentially. Eric from The Boys is okay, but he could have gotten COVID because he went out with friends one night without a mask on. He spent a night in November at a bowling alley, and then suddenly on Christmas Eve, the photos of him from that outing surfaced. So the timing is very odd for the photos to leak a month later, but that's what happened. And so Eric published an official apology note, and his company issued a statement confirming what happened while also disputing some of the claims and accusing the video clips and imagery of being manipulated. So some weird confusion surrounding what really happened, but he just apologized for not taking this seriously and going out maskless. And I really appreciate that. I wish a lot more stars out west were doing that and taking this more seriously, but I digress. So all in all, COVID is really infiltrating the K-pop world more than it has in the past, and due to the rise in cases in South Korea again, they're experiencing a new surge that it had to happen eventually, this spread. So disappointing but not surprising that this is happening more and more because it's happening everywhere. So of course it will infiltrate the K-pop world as well. I'm just glad even more K-pop stars haven't tested positive, and hopefully you never will. But we'll see. I was a bit surprised that certain award shows still happened despite the increased spread, but everyone was wearing masks and things like that, so that's a good example, if no one got COVID at those big award shows, that you can do it safely if you all act responsibly. My yay number 3 goes to new TV programming coming up. By the time this episode is published, actually, the new SBS show will have probably already premiered. It's called Legends, and it's set to feature literally hundreds of different Korean acts. Not too many other details yet, but I guess you just have to watch all the legends, and the title speaks for itself. There is also a new show going to JTBC, and it is starring Wendy from Red Velvet, Kyuhyun from Super Junior, Yoon Jong-shin, and Jang Yoon-jun, and it's called Mysterious Record Shop. This show is basically the soundtrack of people's lives, told through music, people telling life stories and the songs associated with them, and it's set to premiere this month. It will be a really nice long time no see thing for Wendy because since her big injury, she hasn't really done tons of stuff in the spotlight, but she seems to have fully recovered from that stage injury last year, so I'm excited to see her back at it. And Yoon Jong-shin was also on a break for mental health reasons, and so it'll be nice to see him back as well. My nay number 4 goes to the latest in the Guhara case. As we've talked about before, this revolves around inheritance and how much a parent actually can claim inheritance if they were not part of the child's life. And now the child's passed, can the parent still claim inheritance? The latest case ruling is interesting because it has been decided that 60% of Hara's inheritance will go to her dad and 40% to her mom. Typically, it's a 50-50 split, and the Guhara Act was introduced with the intent of changing it so that it's not automatically a 50-50 split, so that it takes other variables into account, and that if a parent is absent from their kid's life, they would get less than 50%. But this act has not passed yet. It can be amended and re-brought up into court and things like that, so it's not like dead, but this legislation is not going anywhere right now. But that's what interests me because it still seems to have infiltrated this court decision. Because although it's not official yet, it wasn't a 50-50 split. It seems like the logic behind this amendment idea did affect the thinking of the judges who decided that it would be a 60-40 split this time. So maybe even if it's not officially law passed, it will continue to have that implicit effect on how these cases are thought about and dealt with. So that will be interesting to see how it affects similar cases going forward. My yay number 4 goes to Stray Kids for doing something that I wish all artists did, at least all K-pop artists, where every year now, it seems like now it's just an annual thing, they start off the new year with a video that summarizes what you can expect from them in the new year. All of the releases coming up and things like that, and it also includes a retrospective on the past year and all the successes they've had. It's a very cool time capsule type video that will be fun to watch years from now, looking at all that Stray Kids accomplished in the past year and what they had planned for the following year. And it gets fans excited for the year ahead. It's a way to mark your calendar super early for different things. It's just a great idea, I think, to keep fans excited and talking about all the group has in store. It makes you want to stay a fan because there's so much more to look forward to, guaranteed. So I just think a lot of artists should do that, and because I'm impatient and I would love to have the whole year mapped out already, as opposed to all these last-minute comeback notices. And Stray Kids kind of did that. Not with exact dates always, but they confirmed that this year they have planned to drop their second full-length album, to have a surprise collab with one or more unknown artists, to have a new reality show season out, have an event called the First Fan Meeting Reconnected, which I'm guessing means they want to have another offline fan meeting when that's safe to do so later this year. And they're going to have a pop-up store at some point this year featuring merch with their cartoon alter egos, the Stray Kids Zoo characters. Lots of exciting stuff so stay tuned, as I like to say on this show. My nay number 5 goes to the involvement that the boy band 2AM had in a criminal mastermind's plan, basically. It's a long story, but what you need to know is just, my nay goes to the fact that I just feel bad for them that they fell for it and everything, but I was listening to this really great podcast. I know I'm basically promoting my competition here, but it is too good of a podcast not to mention, and it talked about 2AM's role and everything. So it's called Chameleon, Hollywood Con Queen, and it is absolutely fascinating. It tells this story about, and I know I'm a true crime junkie, but I think even if you're not, you'll find it fascinating. The story about this guy who impersonated so many famous Hollywood stars, and didn't just impersonate them and trick people into thinking they had job opportunities in the movie-making world, but he also even convinced people again and again and again and again, hundreds if not thousands of people over the years, to fly to Jakarta thinking that the movie set was there. So they would fly there and realize no one was there. They got scammed out of money and opportunities. It's a very sad story, but it's also quite riveting. And also to listen to how they track down this con artist and then realize that it's a con king, not even a Hollywood con queen as she was originally dubbed. And it's just really fascinating, all of the layers of deception, all the ways that this con queen, con king was able to hide from the FBI for so long and kept changing whereabouts. They mention in one of the episodes the part where actually, and I was trying to do more research on this, but it seems like news about it was kind of scrubbed from the internet, at least compared to what it once was. But what it did happen where 2AM was one of the artists who got scammed out of an opportunity, basically, when back in 2011, this scammer tricked people into going to Miss Teen Indonesia. So they would travel to Indonesia and thought that they were performing for part of this Miss Teen Indonesia pageant time. And at that time, Enrique Iglesias even fell for it and traveled there thinking that he was going to perform there, and then found out it was a scam. People had bought tickets to see him and everything. And the same thing happened with 2AM, where they were booked for this gig, and they came, and I don't know if it was necessarily a gig for the pageant or just affiliated with it somehow, but anyway, they got tricked into going there, and hordes of fans showed up, but there was no event. So it led to so much chaos. So, really interesting podcast, and brings up that little-known piece of K-pop history when the weirdest con just kept getting weirder. Yay number 5. Luna from FX has a new gig. She is the voice of a new Marvel superhero called Luna Snow. This is a superhero that was actually created back in 2018 in partnership with Netmarble, the company that Big Hit Entertainment founded, the gaming company that is really making waves lately. And Netmarble teamed up to create this Marvel character called Luna Snow, who has, naturally, all of these ice-themed crime-fighting powers, and she made an appearance first in this video game called Future Fight, and in this Marvel comic series called War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas. And now Luna is going to voice this character in future Marvel events, and I'm very excited for her to be able to do that. So my nays of the week go to the group departures and other uncertain futures in terms of where the groups go going forward, the Han Jin-yun plagiarism controversy, 2AM getting swept up in that con, the COVID spread all over the world and its infiltration into the K-pop world, and the Guhara case ruling. My 5 yays of the week: Luna's new Marvel voice acting gig, the way Stray Kids roll out their plans for the new year, new fandom names, BTS members' latest charity works, and new TV programming coming. A ton more has happened in the past few weeks in the world of K-pop, so here are some of your miscellaneous headlines that I'll just go through real fast. Blackpink's Rosé is the new face of Saint Laurent Beauty. Solar from Mamamoo just joined Instagram. Bam Bam just reached 12 million followers on Instagram. The new messaging app for artists, Dear You Bubble, has some new artists added to their roster, including Twice, ITZY, and Day6. On and Off, ONF, this boy group has officially announced they have their own official lightstick design. There is a new artist at Psy's company, P Nation. Side note, happy belated birthday, Psy. The Gangnam Style singer, being born on New Year's Eve, that is the most fitting thing ever. Anyway, the new artist at P Nation is called Dark, D.ARK. He officially joined December 30th. Dio from EXO has officially gone on his last military vacation time. He had accumulated military time off, and so now he's on that and won't return to the base. So he's technically done with his military service, but also technically not, and he'll carry enlisted status until the 25th of this month. 2PM's Chain Sun was officially discharged January 5th. There's a lot to look forward to with the boy group Ace, because this year they have just signed with a USA management global strategy partner. This LA-based agent named Danny Lee is going to help with Ace's Western music scene promo, and I'm really excited for what they might have in store for their global impact this year. Also for Ace this year, what's huge is that they are now the face of a cosmetics brand for the first time, called Century Recipe. Skip forward 10 seconds if you don't want to hear the winner of Show Me the Money Season 9. But congrats to Lil Boy, who won Season 9 of the show. Mino and Yoon, both from the boy band Winner, are getting their own reality show now. It's called Winter Vacation Bell Boys, and it's going to have 8 episodes starting now, and January 4th is when it really premieres on season. And then there will be new episodes every Tuesday and Monday going forward for 4 weeks, because it is 8 episodes total. And this show is really going to highlight, hopefully, their chemistry, their unique dynamics, because those members do have a unique, not clash in personalities, but they do have interesting opposing demeanor, so it will be interesting to see their chemistry on this show. It's kind of like a reality show travelogue of sorts, and so that's starting right now, and I'm excited to see that. In other YG Entertainment artist news, BI from iKON continues to do charity work. Earlier this year, he donated 200 million won for masks to go to people who needed them, and 300 million won to the NGO World Vision, and he continues to help out. His latest act of charity was because his fandom actually had just put together an event to give Cobra Cats to people, and they were going to do this at an in-person thing December 23rd, but they didn't have enough people signed up to volunteer. So B.I. just joined the fandom to do it. He thought, why not me? And he made a surprise appearance, which is really awesome. There was a resurgence of some old Wish-themed songs on the song charts, on the Melon charts New Year's Day. So people in Korea, what they were listening to New Year's Day included NCT 127's Dreams Come True, rose to number 6 on the charts again. Narazo's Successful Meditation Music rose to number 4 on the charts on New Year's Day. And the most played song in Korea on New Year's Day, WJSN's As You Wish. All definitely the kind of vibes we want to manifest for 2021. In less happy news, BoA was questioned by Seoul prosecutors due to being accused of drug smuggling in December. Around mid-December, this is when this drama came to a head. Long story short, BoA is part of SM Entertainment, and they have offices in Japan and Korea. And when BoA was doing promo in Japan, she had someone prescribe her a sleep medicine, and this prescription medicine that she did have permission to take and everything was shipped back to the office in Korea. But this person who shipped it, whichever employee shipped it, didn't realize the different customs and regulations that prescription drugs have to go through before you can send them to another country, into Korea. And so, due to this ignorance on the employee's part, it led to this becoming an accusation of drug smuggling and things like that. So it sounds like by SM Entertainment's statement that they're clearing the air with them, and she was very cooperative with their questions, and it sounds like they won't pursue further legal action here and that they'll put this case behind them, but we will see. But that was the latest controversy, and I do wonder if that's why she wasn't a part of the SM Entertainment live stream New Year's Eve show, because of the negative headline lately about her. The 2020 Gallup poll revealed who Koreans' favorite K-pop artists are. They split up this list actually between favorite artists under the age of 39 and 40 and older. So here is the top 10 list of Koreans' favorite artists currently. Number 10, Paul Kim. 9, Hwasa. 8, Red Velvet. 7, Zico. 6, Yeontak. 5, Twice. 4, Im Yeon-woon. 3, Blackpink. 2, IU. And first place, BTS. That same poll showed artists' their favorite songs from artists under age 39 for this specific poll, and the favorite songs in Korea for 2020 were number 5, Blackpink Lovesick Girls, number 4, Zico with Any Song, number 3, Hwasa, Maria, number 2, IU and Suga with 8, and number 1, BTS with Dynamite. Also, a public opinion poll that was a part of the Korea First Brand Awards. This was a consumer survey that got over 240,000 responses this year, and there are way too many names to go into all the categories here, but some of the big winners who won huge in this consumer survey about just the reputation in Korea include BTS, Blackpink, Hwasa, Kang Daniel, Paul Kim, Stray Kids, G-Idol, Weekly, Treasure, Park Ji-hoon, and many, many more. The JTBC most talked about TV guest star of 2020 was Jennie from Blackpink. BTS won big at the Japan Records Awards, the 62nd Japan Records Awards. They got a special International Music Award, and they were the first foreign group, relative to Japan, to earn the Recording Industry Association of Japan, RIAJ, Platinum Streaming Certification. They were also the only foreign relative to Japan group to win at the 62nd Japan Records Award show overall. The Fact Music Awards were held virtually this year, hosted by Soohyun from Girls' Generation and Jung Hyunmoo. What you really need to know, the big takeaway from that show, is just that the awards were absolutely swept by Super Junior and BTS. The a cappella group Nareen, that I am just obsessed with, they won a special award for Best Team for the 2020 Youth Microphone Project. Make sure you go check out their cool medleys and other a cappella covers of K-pop songs on YouTube. Their name is Narin. Amazon Music named BTS's Dynamite as the best song of 2020. And Genius released their top artists and songs talked about on the site for 2020, with BTS's Dynamite ranking 3rd place, and BTS as an artist ranking number 7 on the top 10 artist lists. Fans voted for BTS to win Radio.com's Pop Artist of the Year award, and fans voted for Blackpink to win Just Jared's Favorite K-Pop Act of the Year. The Live by Live Lockdown Awards, which is hopefully the first and last of its kind, hosted by this company that is holding virtual concerts. They had a Lockdown Awards this year, naturally a virtual awards ceremony. And Super M won Favorite Zoom Tune, which would a sentence that would make no sense a year ago, for their socially distant cover of their song With You. Not a cover, but whatever. Anyway, Super M had a unique performance for With You, and it was actually a cute performance. So as weird as it feels to have a lockdown award show, it is also, I guess they deserve the award, but let's not have another one of these. I really hope we get back to real award shows very soon. Let's talk about music video milestones in terms of views. Reaching 50 million views, Need You with Step in a Step, 60 million, Jessie Nunu Nana, 100 million, Blackpink Lovesick Girls The Dance Practice video, 200 million, BTS Life Goes On, Mamamoo Hip, and Need You Make You Happy. 300 million, Blackpink's Lovesick Girls. 350 million, EXO's Love Shot, which is actually their fastest video to get to 350 million. 450 million, BTS Not Today, and Blackpink and Selena Gomez's collab Ice Cream. 600 million, both Whistle and Playing with Fire by Blackpink. 700 million, BTS with Dynamite and Blackpink with How You Like That. And still far ahead of any other K-pop video views ever still reigning supreme and probably forever will be, 3.9 billion views for Gangnam Style by Psy. Some streaming updates for Spotify. Blackpink's album reached 1 billion streams, and their song with Dua Lipa, Kiss and Make Up, is the second Blackpink song now to reach 400 million streams on Spotify. NCT officially became the first SM Entertainment artist with Resonance Part 2 to sell over 2 million album copies on the Gaon charts alone. So on just one music chart, they sold 2 million of those album copies. Girls' Generation's Taeyeon's What Do I Call You solo album reached number 1 on iTunes in 18 regions around the world. And lastly, there's probably more to add to this list with BTS and Blackpink, obviously, lately. So when this episode airs, by that time, there will already probably be new milestones made by them, so just worth making a note of that. Thank you for listening to today's news roundup, and I will talk to you all very soon. Don't forget, if you want to further support the show, you can become a monthly donor now. You can also just check out my free newsletter, my blog posts, interviews, all of that. Please go to 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. I really appreciate all the streams and support.